What is going on, Cowboy Nation? Welcome back to Primetime Studios. As I switch this over, and for some reason, there he goes. There's GameTime, Bryan. What's going on, Bryan? Like always, I'm Primetime Phil. Welcome back to Primetime Studios. And man, what a morning after that just sluggish feeling all day, not really wanting to do anything, just kind of dragging out of bed. And I don't know how you felt, Bryan, but you know, I'm not feeling the best right now. So what's going on with you?
Listen, I'm not doing horrible. I was doing bad yesterday, like I always am. I wear these losses tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of, I was scared of this game. I was turned, rightly so, I think, based on the halftime score. I was turned, into saying, all right, Dallas is going to win the game. Give Jacksonville credit. We had a big hand on what happened. But we'll get into it. I'm doing okay. It's not as bad as
we're not surprised. This isn't one of those teams that we're going, okay, we get rolled over. But hey, man, you got to give Jags credit. You got Jags fans back in here. Good job on your part. Trevor Lawrence is definitely looking good. Definitely good prospect for you guys for the future. Hopefully, you guys can get some pieces around him to make that more of a threat in the AFC. You got to give him credit, man. You guys scored a lot of points on our defense. The defense.
I'm happy for Trevor Lawrence. He's been getting beat up, and I've been sticking up for the guy on Twitter. And listen, he is a talent. It's just like anybody else. You're only as good as the people around you. And they finally got a good coach. Doug Peterson, who should probably still be coaching the Eagles. Come on, now this the once they've had in their lifetime, and they get rid of him. But that being said, we are going to break it down. James Nooks is in the house. How are you?
Yeah.
Walls. Rhonda Lovely. I know I saw Roland. Hey, Stacey.
Roland's in here as well too. We have quite a bit. James
Joe,
Nook, Ruben Walls, Rhonda. We have quite a bit. Brooklyn Joe.
We're gonna get through this.
Michael Dana.
It's not.
Yeah, there's a lot of positive. I can go on the negatives. I can definitely go on the I can go on the negatives. I see a lot of positive, and I see the hope there. I don't see this team as a complete waste. I definitely see the strategy going forward change compared to what it could have been with that win.
What's up, buddy?
But again, this team is not. It's not over this year. Obviously, you still got to go through the season. You still have a playoff berth later on that night. So it's one of those bittersweet things. And I think James Nook definitely hit it on the head when he said it's a bittersweet kind of day. You get the playoff berth, but you don't get it the way you want to. So the next games don't mean quite as much. But I know you want to get going on some of this stuff. So give me something from this game.
Well, let's just get to what you just said. We knew they were going to be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It was never a doubt in my mind. I was just holding out hope, because when you put teams in a position to have to win, anything can happen. And that's why I wanted to get to the Christmas Eve game, or the day before. It's Friday, right? Yeah, that's Christmas Eve. Or on a Saturday, it's Christmas Eve.
Christmas.
I just wanted to get to that game and have that be for first place.
Yeah.
Even if it was, just for this week. Other than that, I wanted to. I keep saying I don't really care. I wasn't expecting to getting, the number one seed. I just wasn't.
I wasn't
think
either.
It's better if we did. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's no.
I don't know, man. This team doesn't like being the favorite. Yeah. It's better as the underdog. Because there's no expectations from them.
But Dallas has won 3 road playoff games in 42 years. I think it's 42 or 46 years total. That's because remember in the 90s they were basically home. So in over 40 years they've only won 3 road playoff games. Yet we're gonna, that's all I was trying to tell Mark. I said, the numbers are what they are. You have a more you have a better chance to get to the Super Bowl if you have the bye and you play your games at home. That's just a fact. Now, I would agree with you guys and gals that this year is different for me. I feel like we have a team that could go on the road and win.
Yeah, I still feel that way. I still feel that way. I mean, even with the defense. I mean, as you walk away from this, you feel like the offense could have done a little bit more. But when you really look at the statistics, I mean, Dak did have a really good game. I mean, the 2 interceptions that he did have, you look back at, you see his arm getting hit. Obviously, the big one with Noah Brown right in the breadbasket, and then he doesn't come up with that play. Now you can get. I got more caught up on the actual play calling. I know when you look at it again, the offense of what they did. Hey, it's hard to complain too much, but hey, I'm going to do it anyways. Kellen Moore, that's the 2 teams that we're afraid of. Is the first half, they came out, they took care of business, they looked really good. Statistically, they looked great. And then the second half, there was nothing. I mean, you still put up points, so you're not struggling. But the fact is, you're not, they had problems running the ball yesterday. And, it showed when they needed to. And so, it's hard to say, hey, we shouldn't have gotten away from that. But,
Angelica.
There's a lot of things to really dissect from this game, whether it's offense, whether it's defense.
Well, listen, let's talk about the negative first.
Okay.
Yeah, we lost the game, okay? Listen, and I was telling Phil before we went live, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to throw, this is my initial thought. I was always afraid of this game. But at halftime, they were dominating the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but
the defense gave up 300-something yards.
I'm going to stick to. I had the right side. Listen, this is like what happens when you play with your food. You know what I mean? And you don't eat your food.
Mm-hmm.
It'll go bad eventually if you're not going to. You know what I mean? I'm tired of learning these lessons over and over, Phil. I mean, how many lessons do we got to learn? But you can't play with fire and not get burnt. They got burnt. They didn't put the teams away. When we had the Lawrence strip sack, we needed to go down and get a touchdown. Okay? We didn't. We got a field goal. There was too many times that we got a field goal. Yeah. I understand ultimately we scored X amount of points, but clearly it wasn't enough, right? So we need to have this I want to bury you mentality in the playoffs. That's what it's about now. I hope we can get to 11 wins. I
think we can.
Do it,
I definitely can.
Yeah.
I think it's more. I think realistically we can get to 12 wins, but it depends on what team kind of goes. Is it going to be the one that we kind of get? We're resting everybody.
Assuming the Eagles win one, because all they have to do is win one, and they.
Well, I'm not worried about that part. I'm just more thinking like, I mean, what we're playing for the stay in the 5th seed. I'd rather rest people by this point.
No. We're locked in the 5th seed.
Yeah,
we're basically locked in. We're not doing nothing else. We could get the 1 seed if we win all 3, which is not going to happen.
And they had to lose all 3, wouldn't they?
And they would have to lose every one.
Mm-mm.
That's more not going to happen. But just looking at, I know, that we want to talk about a couple of the, issues. Our defense is leaking oil. Okay, it's leaking oil. These teams are doing that misdirection. The injuries yesterday really hurt us.
Mm-hmm. That's the part, especially on defense.
Shout out to Leighton Vander Esch. It shows you how well he's playing. Because Damone Clark,
I would go more Anthony Barr. I would
the guy.
Yeah, I would go more Anthony Barr on that one with the linebackers if I'm picking on somebody.
Well, I'm getting to him, but Damone as well. He was, yeah. Go ahead.
No. I'm go ahead. You're right on the roll. I think you're hitting the nail on the head here because the injuries. Obviously, you got people coming. You don't have 2 of your 3 starting corners. I mean, that's going to eventually be a problem. I mean, we saw the Kelvin Joseph. He just. Man, you need him to learn, but man, this isn't the time. Right? I mean, right now, I guess
sit down.
No. Now that these next 3 games don't mean crap.
Well, like maybe now I want to get another win.
Yeah.
Let's see. He ain't gonna. I mean,
it's just bad. It's just
what
bad.
What they did to him. what they did to him was they benched him. Then they brought in Nashawn Wright. Then they sat him down, and they put Mukwamu out there, who's a friggin' safety. He used to be a corner out of college. He's probably your best bet because he actually played corner at a decent level. I mean, he's going to get some play. You know how the Dallas is. But I just don't think if Bossman Fat has any skills playing the ball. He has athletic ability. He has decent size.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's his position? What's his
balls.
position? It's not corner, so obviously is he a safety? What is he? Is he?
If he can't play corner,
Was he a special teams?
He's got to go.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, we're stuck with him for now.
Yeah.
Right now, like you said, it'll be interesting to see what they do. But getting into the injuries. Let's go over the injuries real quick. Van Der Esch. Good news on him. Had nothing to do with his previous injury. It's only a stinger in his shoulder. He ain't going to play at least this week. He's probably not going to play until the playoffs. But if need be, he ain't playing this week. He could possibly play the following week. I would say he'll probably play a game before the playoffs, but it's definitely not season ending and has nothing to do. Thank God we'll have him for the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think
Dorrance
that's what the next.
Armstrong.
Yeah, Dorrance, man.
Looks like he's going to play this week.
Oof.
So he's actually, I mean, if he don't, he don't. But he came back into the game, went back out. Nothing too serious other than a dinged up knee. So those are the good things. I mean, again, you hit the nail when you said that Dak had a good game. Dak Prescott had a great game. I wish he would run the ball a little more. Like the good teams, Phil. When you come to the line of scrimmage, you see a certain coverage. You're gonna run the ball. If anybody watched the Eagle game, they saw that there was nobody in the middle of the field. So Hurts ran the ball and he got a touchdown. Dak needs to start doing that. That's going to loosen everything up a little bit.
I think it's also the fact that Dak had a serious injury while Hurts hasn't had that serious injury, so he's not as hesitant to see open space and run. So, I mean, what was it? How many years before Dak got that injury? So, I mean, you see him kind of hesitant.
One hit yesterday where it was weird. Like, you saw his leg come up. I'm glad he got it out. I think he flipped it up on purpose to get it out of the turf. Yeah. There was a weird, funky hit yesterday. But
so I mean, there's a lot. I mean, with play calling again, we'll go back. I think there's so many things you can jump and forth. I think this one pops out to me. I was kind of talking about Kellen Moore and the fact that the first half you look pretty good. The second half didn't look as great. There was some iffy calls. Whether you were talking about that third down, 50-50 ball down the sideline to a guy that isn't your number one, and obviously you have Gallup.
Third and 4. Yeah, that's the play we need to talk about. The 3rd and 4 play. My whole thing. Just forget about the overtime. Because we got to stop in the overtime. We stopped them in the overtime. And we were driving. Dak threw a perfect ball to Noah Brown. Okay, Noah Brown, I hate to bash the guy. He had a great game. Up until the point where he cost the game. Yeah. Those are the type of situations. And I ain't going to bring the guy's name up, but you need a number one receiver. Like a guy like Cooper wouldn't have dropped that ball. Okay? They were triple teaming CeeDee Lamb yesterday at times. So Gallup needed to make a play. But that 3rd and 4 play, that was a horrible call. You don't do a 50-50 ball. I know why they did it. I didn't like the choice of where they went with the ball, Phil. Dallas's defense at that point was spent. I don't know what the issue was other than the injuries. I get it. Jacksonville was gashing them, the misdirection. They needed to throw something more safe because they wanted to put Jacksonville out of their misery because they couldn't stop them at that point. But I didn't like that. I would have rather if Dak ate it and just took a knee or ran a couple yards. I mean,
there was a lot there. I think about the coaching part of it. I think there's been a couple of people on the chat that have definitely jumped on the fact that McCarthy they talk about the plays and he's like, I forget that I'm not, coaching Aaron Rodgers here, that he thought Dak would, change the play. But, that's Kellen Moore, making that call, and then you not overriding that call or saying, hey, let's take a timeout, something there. And then of course Dak not seeing the call. It went through 3 people to hit that field, and so that's the part that makes me iffy. And that's the part of the offense. I mean, you look at the offense, how much they actually scored, and yes, you turn the ball over 2 times, and you put the defense in a bad position. So I mean, and the defense eventually got just tired. I mean, you're right. I mean, they did. They looked gassed by the end of it. They couldn't really stop Trevor Lawrence in that offense, and again, they were really picking on the one side and some of these linebackers. So I mean, there was no pressure. Where was DeMarcus Lawrence at any point during that game?
Yeah,
was he resting?
A good point. D-Law, where's he been the last 3 weeks? Because they're chipping. Their main goal on offense is to stop CeeDee Lamb, and on defense is to stop Micah Parsons. Mm-hmm. Micah Parsons is beat up, and I think this all goes back to he doesn't have the frame to play defensive end.
I agree.
He's a big dude, but he's not that.
He shouldn't be all the time.
6'8", 6'6". He's not that guy. He's a powerful guy, but the play, it's a lot more of a beating. And I think this is an example, and you're seeing it. Mm-hmm. Beat up. They're saying he has a harness on, which indicates he's got something going on with his shoulder. He's getting triple teamed. He's getting double teamed and chipped, basically. So where's D-Law doing? Okay, he's either unbelievable or he's the invisible man. Mm-hmm. And when Armstrong went out,
kind of like Gallup,
really hurt us.
Yeah,
really hurt us.
We have a couple of guys like that. I think Gallup's another one. I love Gallup. I love his ability, but he's also a guy that likes to disappear as well, too.
If you're going to throw a 50-50 ball up, they'll throw it to Gallup.
Thank you. Exactly.
He's
There's
the
guys,
one guy that can catch a ball on the sideline. I wouldn't like that call either unless he caught it, right?
Yeah, but he has more of an odds, I think, of coming down with those plays, because that's his specialty. I mean, you got some of these guys going across the middle. That's a CeeDee Lamb specialty, what Noah Brown was running there. So, I mean, there's guys that are, designed, these plays are designed for it. They're just not sticking them in the right spots. They're not, let's put him in this exact spot because he's going to get open. That's not Kellen Moore's specialty. And we're seeing it a lot of the times, even though he may play, it gets going pretty well because of the pieces that he has. But man, it shows when he needs to actually come up with the play and call it at the right time. That's when his weakness really shows. And I
just listened to the McCarthy press conference. He obviously finally watched the All-22, and he made a strong statement saying Dak is going to keep slinging the ball.
I like it. I don't mind it.
So, yeah, listen. The way they're playing Dallas, you're going to have to throw the ball. That's why, OBJ is not going to help us anytime soon. Even if we were to bring him in, which I don't think we're going to at this point, it'll be T.Y. Like James Nook says. It'll be T.Y. Hill. This is what, like we need to get to the end of the game and you need a big catch or you need somebody to get open. That's why I wish you would have kept Amari Cooper. When you're triple teaming, like double teaming and triple teaming CeeDee Lamb, and teams are like, we're not going to let this guy, because CeeDee Lamb was balled out again yesterday. Shout out to CeeDee Lamb. He's stepping up. It's the other guys that need to get open. Noah Brown had a good game. Real good game. He scored twice. He had some clutch catches, but
James Washington.
Noah Brown, it turned midnight, man, and it turned back into a pumpkin. It's just like it was right in his hand, and people go, "Oh, well, the ball was low."
Yeah.
The ball has to be low. The ball has to be low in that situation, and it literally went right through his hands.
I think that's something
that's unlucky.
That's been very common within Dak's interceptions. I mean, if you look at how many he has
this year, yes.
I mean, there's, you're like, as soon as it happens, you're like, okay, what's going on there? And then you look back and you see his arm get hit. You see guys not making the right read. You see guys not catching the ball. So, I mean, you can easily make the excuse, I think it's like a 50-50 thing. There were some times where I was wondering whether Dak should have even thrown the ball. But there's times like that, for example, yesterday, I just can't put it on him. I mean, I look at the fact that,
Dude, did you see the throw to Hender shot? That was
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Beautiful pass.
So,
Probably best.
yeah.
Really good pass, man. He's gotten some gorgeous passing.
I was
sometimes
feeling
when he
so
gets
good
time.
at halftime. I'm like, man. And then I was watching the Eagle game, and they were struggling. And we'll get to the Eagles. I see Cole's Cowboys in the house. What's up, Coles? Just real quick, I want to give everybody an update. I don't know who knows and who doesn't. It's looking like this is why we should have won the game. Crying out loud, we should have won the damn game because this is what I'm talking about. This morning, the line was Dallas -1.5. I was literally saying I might put a couple hundred on the Eagles just based on how they're playing and how we're playing. Then it went to -2, and then right before we went live, it's Cowboys -6 against the Eagles, and then it comes out because of Vegas and the line shift. That's a big line shift. That Jalen Hurts probably is not going to play. He has either a shoulder or possible collarbone injury.
This is the problem with the running thing, yeah.
Already, if it's a collarbone, it's bad.
Yeah. Well, James Nook was letting me know as well too, and so I was like, if I was them, I'd rest them for the next couple games. It means nothing. You still, you can wrap up this.
Well,
it
means nothing. It means something
to
though,
Minnesota,
Phil, because
but you got.
I'm
sorry.
number 1 seed.
They got a good backup. I think Minshew is pretty good. I mean, he's not like you're putting in like some just kind of scrap person in there.
Well, we played them with our backup, so it's only fair, right? But they have to worry about Minnesota getting the number 1 overall seed. If they finish a game behind Minnesota,
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think they got a pretty good.
We'll see. It's early. Yeah, if they were smart, they would sit him. But
yeah, I think so as well too.
He got hurt, and what I was trying to say is, you want to stay close, win the games we're supposed to, because they are. Let's give the Eagles credit. They're going on the road and getting the job done. Winning ugly, I don't care. They have 1 loss all year, and that probably shouldn't have been a loss.
Well, if you look,
much as I hate to say it, people, you have to keep it real.
But let's look at
They're doing what I wish our team would do.
We'll push this aside because you think about the matchups that they're going to have to go. I mean, if they're the 1 or the 2, I mean, they're going to have to play somebody that's jumping in there at good times. I mean, if you're Washington, let's say they sneak in there somehow, or New York and stuff. These guys give them tough fights. So I mean, those teams would be the ones that would go match up against them. So I'm not saying they're going to beat them or anything, but San Francisco, those guys are a threat as well too because of that defense. So there's a lot. I mean, when you look at ours, right now we're sitting there. You're saying that you mentioned that Tampa Bay would be the matchup.
San Fran until the championship game.
Yeah, Tampa. I mean, Tampa's not playing the best football, but again, there's that whole record. We haven't beat Brady. Again,
right.
This team could switch. Tampa team could switch by the playoffs and all of a sudden be a threat. But they're not playing the best, and that division doesn't look extremely great. So, hey, there's chances of winning. It's not just a one and done type of hope. Like that sinking feeling that you don't feel like we can make a push. I still feel that this team can make a push. I mean, even with the defense playing as badly as it did, this offense was slinging the ball, even with 2 turnovers. With those 2 turnovers during the game. Or
and
whatever,
let's not forget, in overtime, we lost the toss and we got to stop. So our defense did their job in overtime, but this is where we talk about you keep flirting with these teams that you should beat. I knew it would be a tough game, but Dallas showed me they were ready to play. They were ready to play. But with the injuries, Leighton Vander Esch going out really hurt them bad. Give Doug Peterson a lot of credit with his game plan. He knows how to game plan against the Cowboys. Dallas is very aggressive. They're not real disciplined when it comes to because they want to get a hold of the quarterback at all costs. But see what happens when you don't stay disciplined. So they took advantage of Dallas. Hey Gina, how are you?
Hey, be careful.
He's driving. Be careful. But let me get to my stars down or arrow down guy.
Okay.
You already touched on one. D-Law. Come on, bro. I know you're banged up, But
everybody is.
You got Parsons, getting his ass double and triple teamed. You have to step up more. I mean, you cannot do what you did. So he's did not have a good game yesterday. Boss man Fat, you need to sit down, bro. We'll get you some playing time, but we need to see McQuamu. We need to see Wright get some play for the playoff. Get ready for the playoffs because you have no clue how to make a play on the ball. It's constant trail technique. I didn't think I'd be saying it already, but I already miss Anthony Brown, and how I thought about his play this year. He's a star down. Anthony Barr, we talked about it. I wanted Anthony Barr, but I wanted him for like situational only.
Yeah,
he could be great, he's done. But if he gets too many snaps, his age is showing. Did not have a good game at all. Michael Gallup, hey bro, I don't know, man. You're not getting double teamed. You need to be able to get open. They need to force him the ball early to make teams respect him. And lastly, Jason Peters did not have a good game yesterday. Did not. I was watching Tyron, and I'm like, they said Tyron played more snaps than he wanted to, but going forward, he's going to be going. Just a real quick stat here. With plays with Tyron Smith playing right tackle, Dallas averaged 6.1 yards per play every snap that he was in the game. Jason Peters, when he played right tackle, 3.2 yards per play. So we got double the yardage under Tyron. He played great at right tackle, just cementing that he's a Hall of Famer, willing to do anything for the team. We can keep him next year as the whatever. Play right tackle. If you lose Steele or Steele's not ready to go, shout out to Tyron Smith for missing all year with a torn hamstring off the bone, coming back playing the way he did yesterday. So expect him to play more against Philly. There won't be as much substitution. So
I like what 24/7 Cowboys saying here. Kellen Moore should be named Kellen Less because I hate Kellen Less. Yeah. But no, you're right. There's a lot that you hit on the head there. I mean, there's a lot of those. I definitely saw this as a loss for everybody. I mean, even our special teams wasn't looking the greatest. And so I mean, this is definitely an overall team loss. I mean, I don't even know where to choke. Is it because this team doesn't lose that close game last week, so they come out and go, we can just win these games. They're gonna be close as well too, and kind of don't take it serious. Yeah,
remember I said I did bring it up about the officiating and how they like to call like interference calls, offensive and defensive. There was multiple offensive interference calls. They're getting away with a lot of rub routes, and where I understand it. Dallas needs to identify that if the officials aren't going to call the rub route they basically run our defender into one of their other receivers, freeing up a guy. Eagles do that real well. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times these officials will call it. They need to do a better job. Kellen Moore needs to be on it, that if they see that the officials are allowing these rub routes and crossing routes.
Go ahead, do it.
Early in the game, you need to switch your game plan up and start doing it, because that'll be a way to free up our receivers who can't get open other than CeeDee Lamb, who got triple teamed yesterday.
Yeah.
But Christian Kirk definitely pushed off, and I'm not gonna say that's why we lost the game, but I'm just saying all this stuff adds up.
Yep. You
start playing with fire, you start getting turnovers, you start kicking field goals. You get the ball in the red zone in a turnover, and you're kicking field goal. We had the ball at the 4-yard line. 4-yard line. We kicked the field goal. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be those games where it is just you suffer injuries, guys are out. You're going to need to score a lot of points. And that, it's frustrating, man. I think we need to coach better on the fly.
Yeah. I agree.
think we do, and I blame Kellen more for
Yeah, I blame
that.
Kellen Moore. I mean, a lot of people want to stump on the whole Dan Quinn, but Dan Quinn can only do so much of the coaching. I mean, he has a lot of guys that he's substituting. You got a lot of older guys who he just, Brian just talked about Anthony Barr, and he's a great rotational depth player in certain situational roles, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's not the guy that's going to be in there like LVE making those.
Well, remember
those
I
plays.
said,
I mean,
you asked me like before the year. You had said, well, who? Because we were talking before the season started. Well, who could be like a possible disappointment? Even though I wanted Anthony Barr, and I know it's weird, but I did say Anthony Barr. If he has to play too much, go ahead, yeah.
No, you're exactly right. You're definitely right. Like when I was looking at, there was a lot of those things, those situations that and Glitterman says as well. I'll put it back up there. He says they didn't take last week as a wake up call, and it's true. I mean, but then a lot of times I think that's with the coaching as well. They're trying to do experiments mid game some of this times. They'll talk about it later. For me, they say, "Oh well, we're trying not to put as many reps on someone." And I get it, trying to ease people in as well too. But you're fighting for something. I think you're not just going through the games. I think now in the next couple of games, you're kind of just going through the games. But that wasn't the situation going into this game, and they just acted as if Jacksonville was just going to kind of give them the win. I mean, Mike Tag brought it up.
Yeah.
If we play this Jacksonville team in the beginning of the season, this isn't the same outcome. We have these guys, all our guys healthy. Trevor Lawrence isn't on a roll with the Doug Peterson offense, so there's a lot of things there. But again, there's a lot of disappointment within this team and these plays. But then when you look across the board, again, there's things to get excited about because again, we don't have everybody in the rotation and we still had a chance to win it. But again, the negative, you're going up and down. You got a positive, you got a negative, you got a positive, you got a negative. The negative
Michael
again,
Dana says
you played down to the competition, man.
Kellen Moore not helping EQ when it comes to situational football. That's what I was talking about. They're good at making adjustments. It didn't seem like I guess they figured they didn't need to do anything because they were doing so good at halftime. But let's give the credit to Doug Peterson. He seemed to make all the adjustments. He came out firing in the third quarter. And then 24/7 Cowboy Hail Mary on third down. A high school coach.
Oh my God, that's what I'm saying.
We already touched on that.
Yes, that's what I was talking. No, and you're right, man. Bring it back up because this stuff is upsetting me. The fact that it went through 3 different people, got called on the play, then you threw it to. You didn't even throw it to Michael Gallup. I'm not saying that Michael Gallup would have came down with, but that's the guy probably. There's 2 guys on this offense that's going to come out with that sideline type catch for third down, 50-50 balls, and it sure as hell the first person isn't going to be Noah Brown is going to pop on your head. It's probably going to be like the 5th or 6th receiver you're going to think about. You got even Dalton Schultz. I would have probably thrown it to on that, and he doesn't even give that much effort.
But that's why I agree with Mike Aldana because I'm seeing Mark Holmes. He's saying that we have the 3rd highest scoring offense and we can't win. I see Glimmerman, our defense let this happen. We had the big lead. Yeah. That's why I say you have to coach on the fly. When you lose guys on defense, I don't have a problem with them throwing the ball.
But the offense got to help the defense. Yeah.
I really don't because we couldn't stop anybody at that point in the game. We scored a lot of points, but we also let them back in the game. I didn't like the choice of the 50-50 throw. I would have checked it down. You always got to have a check down option. You cannot throw an incomplete. That's the difference.
Oh my God, yes.
Mind a throw there. People go, you should just rat it into the line.
But throw it somewhere that's
necessarily with that.
Scholes,
it's easy to say that now when we lose the game.
Yeah.
I don't mind throwing the ball. Dak had a great game. His first interception, his arm was hit. That's why the ball sailed. And the reason his arm was hit is because Jason Peters let the guy full rush him and get to Dak. That's what happened. Jason Peters did not have a good game. So, Dak, he's my quarterback, and it wasn't his fault. That's the bottom line. So I don't have a problem throwing the ball there. It's just the type of play. You can't have an incomplete. If you throw a ball,
that was
Brown,
not.
Like you did in overtime,
that was not incomplete.
Hit him in the numbers, and he lets the ball get all the way to his body instead of, bring it in.
Bring it in. Yeah.
Then you're gonna lose. Then that's fine. But
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even take.
Choice of the throw.
It doesn't even take the shot. It doesn't even take the shot and go downwards. I mean, it was a great angle. I mean, you can't fault the corner for being there. I mean, that was a great play. I think you mentioned it as well. I think off the broadcast that it was a great play by him. But again, there's so many different situations that led up to that point that I just can't point to the one spot. There's just a lot of situational football that wasn't being had. There was a lot of that you hear on any given Sunday. You got to fight and claw for that inch. I saw no fight. I saw no claw. I just saw kind of just roll over and get your belly scratched.
Yeah. I have to tell everybody in the chat where I live near Philly. I live in South Jersey over the bridge in the rural area. But Dallas game wasn't on TV, so I took my son to Buffalo Wild Wings, right? So we get there. It's about 12:30. There's hardly anybody in the place. It's pretty cool. They got all the tags on the game, the Dallas game. So we sat near the Dallas TV. There was probably like a big table of 20 people watching the end of the soccer, the
World Cup, yeah.
Not a big soccer guy, but I watched it. It was cool. It was
a good game, man. It was a very good game.
Argentina. Wow. Yeah. And then the Dallas fans started coming in, right? So, it was me and my son AJ, and I would probably say about a dozen Dallas fans. Okay, we were all in a general area, and then, of course, closer to 1 o'clock, it gets flooded with Eagles fans. So we're watching the game, and there was just one drunk, loud Eagle fan that was just over the top, and it's just like, whatever, man. I felt good, man, at halftime, and I take full responsibility for the loss.
It's all
full
Brian's fault,
responsibility.
guys.
It's on me, man. I apologize to everybody. But when they got the strip sack of Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence,
Jags quarterback. And I stood up because I was tired of hearing the BS. And I went up to the other Dallas fan. I said, "It's a wrap." And we were high-fiving.
I'm already embarrassed for you,
I
man.
was doing and then after the game, when we blew it, I said, "All right, everybody, it's time to do the walk of shame." We got up, and they were laughing and giggling, and we had to walk by it, the whole friggin' restaurant. Note to self, Brian, mouth shut. Normally I'm a quiet dude, but I had been taking it all game. And then I was looking at the Eagle game, and I'm like, uh-oh, they may blow it, because Fields came back in the game.
Well, it is not easy to be a Cowboys fan. I think this one it just goes to show you more than anything. I mean, you get happy. Hey, we're in the playoffs. We have a chance. What happens the next couple of games, this team can reset itself and make a playoff push. I've seen this thing happen. We have enough playmakers across the board to have it happen. It's just. Will we get in our own way? We obviously know there's a lot of things where we get in our own way. And so we do have a leader. We have running backs. We do have an offensive line that's trying to get it together. We have a defensive line that has flashes of, I wanted to put Parsons. I wanted Parsons on the edge all the time, but obviously there's some weaknesses there. It's not all beneficial to him. You got some players in the linebacker that, LVE, that's hopefully going to be coming back after a couple of weeks. Again,
LVE will be back for the playoff. Maybe.
So I mean, Dorrance, you talked about Dorrance possibly being back.
Something goes haywire and we win Saturday and the Eagles win and lose again next week, then okay, now it's all hands on deck on that last game. But it's more important that we have him for the playoffs. Armstrong not being hurt for the year is huge. So I was real worried. Now I'm a lot less worried.
Yeah, I mean, 24/7 Cowboy puts it up. He goes, well, don't feel bad. What do you think about Minnesota fans are saying right now? I mean, they were getting their butts handed to them, and then they came back against the Colts. The Colts, that team that's, that they should be beating. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of teams there that, hey, is Minnesota a guarantee? Is any of those teams really guaranteed especially when you have a lot of tough defenses going into this the playoffs? You know how playoff football is. Everybody hits a little bit harder. Everybody runs a little bit faster. There's offenses. Everybody's a little bit nervous, so the ball doesn't get going. Unless you're an offense that have been playing with each other for quite a while. there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts going into this playoffs. But I like the fact that we are in there. That's the positive going forward, that we are in the playoffs. What the hell with this coaching staff?
Mark, I just want to... Mark Combs, you look like death warmed over last night. I watched it. I watched one of his videos of, when I guess Washington went all the way down to the 1 yard line. I watched it this morning before work. He was tired, man. Shout out to Mark Combs. That was a long day streaming. I don't know how you do it.
I mean, and then to take all that stuff, because he does it, because, you see my live, I would not be. I'm a pissed off guy because I point out things that are happening, and then obviously I can think about it
after 3 weeks. Jeez. So listen, I normally am not a big talker, especially out in crowds. I've learned my lesson. But I was kind of emboldened by the other Cowboys fans who had, one was drinking.
It's always nice when you have people around.
He was arguing with he was going back and forth with the Eagle guy, but it was getting nasty.
Yeah, it's silly. What do you expect?
They were talking like crap on Dak. They weren't really watching the Dallas game, but everything. Anytime something bad would happen, they would, Dak sucks. And that's when I said, when Hurts threw his second INT, I'm like, yeah, MVP, my ass. It was getting kind of ugly, but
I love it. I still remember the Dallas fan, I still remember the freshman year of Dak where he comes in, and I was like the game 3 or 4 of the season. I already had my Dak jersey, man, and I was walking through the bar. The Eagle fans like, what? He already has a Dak jersey? Yeah, you don't know. You have no idea how much that's going to haunt your ass. I love this team and where the future goes. I don't know where we're at this year because obviously it's an up and down, and that's what this team is going to show you. All of a sudden they can come next week, dominate, and you're just like, what the hell's up with this team?
Exactly. I would say this, and Angelica, it wouldn't be alive if you didn't say, oh no, Kellen, there's the door. It wouldn't be alive without her doing that. I love that.
I love it too. She's
think about this.
Right.
Yeah, think about this. We were the 1 seed. We couldn't get the job done. It's not easy being the 1 seed. We've been, like last year, we went in as healthy as you could possibly be. We didn't get the job done. Now
let's go in there.
We were never the team we were never the team that the media or anybody liked this year. The Eagles got off to a good start, and everybody's running. We're actually sitting now. I didn't like people are starting to say, "Oh, well, this Dallas team is who we thought they were." I saw Rex Ryan right before we went on saying Dallas defense is soft. Listen, bro, we will see. They're not soft. They're banged up. They're not playing discipline, but it can be corrected. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're going to have to score more points with our defensive backs. Mm-hmm. It's like we're not getting pressure.
I'm sorry, but I see.
Backup.
I think we have people in place. We just are not elevating them. There's certain people to me that are game.
He had another great game,
and he's looking great in the slot. Very future piece. My whole thing is that there's guys that we brought up. Mackenzie Alexander, right there. He's a gamer. He is not a practice. He's not one of those. He didn't show us in practice. He is a gamer. Put him in the game. Let's see what he can do. There was some guys here I remember during our preseason that we were kind of iffy on whether they were even going to make this roster. Where are these flashes of these guys? So it's just like there's moves that could be there. You don't have to just stick with Joseph and let us suffer every single weekend.
Joseph needs to sit down for me. He's had his opportunity, honestly.
And Mukwamu is the safety. Yeah.
But he needs to sit down, man. He's not getting nowhere near getting the job done. And this is not like he's a rookie. This is his 3rd year. I know he missed 1 year, with injury, but come on, bro. You need to be better than this. This is your shot. So.
Yeah, these guys are
over Calvin Joseph.
Yeah, there's these guys that they're talking exactly what we are.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where
I hated the fact that he was a coach on our team because of what his
father
did.
You're talking about
Buddy Ryan.
It wasn't Rex Ryan. It was what was his name? The secondary coach.
Rex Ryan came out yesterday.
Well, he's a Jets fan.
Oh yeah,
he's
yeah,
a Jets
no.
coach.
Yeah, you're right. His brother was our coach.
Yeah, I
yeah.
can't think
You
of
get
his damn
you
name.
get what I mean. All the Ryans are blowhards. So
yeah, the chat's going to help me. I know they will.
You know, he wanted him to choke on a pork chop again.
Rob Ryan, there he goes. Thank you, Mike. Thank you,
Rob
Mike.
Ryan.
Rob Ryan. That's what it was. I'm like, oh man, that's gonna bother me. And what happened with me is I don't like to look them up. I want it to pop in my head. I want to figure it out. So yeah, these guys, Rob Ryan, they're all over it. But yeah, I mean, I liked them. I thought they kind of gave up on them a little bit early. But I mean, you see within those defenses, I think a lot like Wade Phillips, where good defenses they just allow a lot of yardage, kind of that bend but don't break type of defense. So I like what we're building here. Again, it's just you run out of so many pieces. Your top three corners, they're just out for the whole season. There's not even that like Tyrone, where like in the playoffs we can make it. No, that's maybe next year. And you start realizing. I think I know I'm one of those guys that Anthony Brown having trailing most of the time. Doesn't look as bad now, but what would he have done? I'm more curious. If he was playing these games, would he have allowed those yardage, and we'd be yelling for Kelvin Joseph to get in? So I mean, I don't think he was doing that great.
No. He's not as bad as Kelvin Joseph.
No, nowhere near. He at least occasionally makes a play, and I think that's where.
Yeah. Kelvin has no sign of making a play. None. He don't have no ball skills.
Yeah, and I think Glimmerman says it right.
I mean, the ball once.
Quit trying to make plays, especially because that's when he's allowing
he's trying
those.
To jump routes, dude.
Yeah, you're not at that level.
Yeah. What you want? Yeah. I mean, Diggs is kind of upsetting me too, but. They don't throw his way a lot. We only see the couple plays, maybe a handful of plays that they actually go at him. And it's the hardest position on the field to do. I mean, when they go at him, they're very smart on how they go at him, But Diggs has already shown that he is a playmaker. He's a ball hawk. So I can understand why he would jump a route. He wants to make a play for his team. He's proven that he can take it to the house. He's got hands like a receiver. Boss man fat, Kelvin Joseph, dude. All he knows how to do is run with the guy. You don't ever make a play on the ball. Never.
Yeah,
normally either a penalty or a touchdown.
Now, again, this stretch here would be the time to play him, allow him to get some reps in there to try to start feeling comfortable. NFL speed, NFL wide receivers. I mean, it's a hard position to play because obviously you're going against a guy that runs extremely fast, and they know what direction they're going to go. They know when they're going to stop. They're trying to fake you with other stuff, so it's a really tough position. So I mean, to make it there is really really hard, but. Again, now you've gotten there. Now you need to learn. You need to be, if you want to be that number 2, I mean, you're definitely showing this team that, hey, this is not the pick. I mean, maybe we need to invest, into the offseason with the next one because, Kelvin Joseph ain't that guy. Because what would have happened? Anthony Brown, most likely, let's say Anthony Brown plays a year, doesn't play the greatest. They would have released him and made Kelvin Joseph going into next year the guy. So now at least you know that, hey, this isn't the guy, and you can make a, because this team loves to, when the house is burning down, that's when we want to decide to make a move. And so right now,
burning down the house.
And Brooklyn Joe said,
I hear you, man.
If Kellen Moore was in that house, I would let it burn. So, but yeah, there's a lot of complaints.
Burn, baby, burn. Oh, sorry. So anyway, to wrap it up, because I know people are tired of hearing about the negative, but
sorry, guys.
There's
a lot of positives.
No, we need.
Positives too.
Listen, I'm going to keep it real. I'm not going to go back and go, I told you watch out for Jags. No, everybody was right. Dallas just blew the game. They were clearly the better team, but when injuries happen, I think they need to be a little bit quicker. Stop just I want to see maybe the LSU linebacker, not Damone Clark.
Yeah, Jabril Cox.
What's his name?
Jabril Cox.
Jabril Cox. Let's see him.
I want to see him.
Let's see him get some play.
Yes.
Right
now is the time to do it.
Out for a couple games.
Yep.
Let's see Jabril Cox. Let's see a special teamer.
Well, there's a lot of guys. That's exactly. I'm right with you. I think there's a lot of corners on this practice squad. There's a lot of guys there. There's you cannot tell me that there's not somebody there that's just waiting to get game time.
You need to find somebody
ability,
and give them a little bit of playing time. You never know.
Yeah, the next couple of games is definitely where it's at. Especially if you're not going to improve.
Joseph.
Yeah, you're not going to improve.
We know what we got
standing.
with Anthony Barr when he has to play too many plays at linebacker. He's more of a hybrid. Slide to the end, blitz him, like hang around near the line of scrimmage. He's not your prototypical linebacker. That's the thing, And Damone.
Well, get Sam Williams more plays.
Thank God we got Damone, but
yeah, I think get Sam Williams more plays. Let Parsons rest a little bit because we need to get him fresh for the playoffs.
We definitely need to get him a rest
because this is where this team is elite.
Because he wants,
he
wants sacks, but.
Yeah. No, man, forget that.
We need to be smart with him before the playoffs.
Yeah, I know how much he's going to be begging to get in, and I think we can't just push that aside. And no, this team was not the same, but this team again can be elite if he is at 100%. I mean,
I'm not giving up on this year at all, people.
No.
I'm upset that we didn't win yesterday, but listen. We can't sit here and say, well, they're done. We can't because we've been the great team. Like I said, all the pressure's on the Eagles. Now they got, what if it comes out? What if he comes back? What if he has a separated or like his collarbone's cracked? I think it's more of a shoulder, but
we know what happened with Romo with his collarbones and shit.
Well, no, yeah, I did see. I can't think of the ESPN guy.
Was it his throwing shoulder or his
not Adam Schefter? Yeah, he said it shoulder / collarbone. And then when you see a line jump from this early in the week, the only reason why they came out was because the line jumped.
Yeah,
Vegas is the first, people to know what's going on.
Yeah, they got the phones bugged and stuff, and so they're already on it. It's like, let's change that.
Something's going on. Yeah, we were without our quarterback for 5 weeks. I don't want to say anybody get hurt, but let's see how you handle it.
Hey, Harry Poppins. What's going on, man? Welcome to the chat. He says, new to the show, Poppins. Just found it on search. How are you guys doing? Go Cowboys. Exactly. We are bitching and moaning about the game last night, or yesterday, sorry. And then, obviously, the playoff. Hey, we are in the playoffs by the end of the night. And so it's just that roller coaster ride that the Dallas Cowboys love to take you on. Hey, we're just enjoying the ride because obviously at some point this team is going to go back up to come back down to go back up, and hopefully this is where the roller coaster ends.
We're going to be fine,
we're on top,
man.
I
have a weird feeling that we're going to be okay. I do.
We're a threat.
Until we're out, we ain't out.
Exactly. We're still, you don't know what team's going to show up.
Yeah.
In one half you had this first team, the Dallas Cowboys, that love to show you that we can score and we can control the clock and the defense is in the game. And then the other part where Kellen Moore doesn't game plan correctly and doesn't adapt to the game, and some guys aren't making the plays.
And it was a good game plan. It was a good game plan. We were doing great. That's the thing. It's just on the fly type of deal, and those tough. It's easy to say, well, we should have just ran the ball on 3rd and 4, made them use their timeout. Okay, who's to say? I understand that. I didn't like the choice of call.
I just like the fact that they believe in Dak.
I don't know if Dak didn't. I don't know. Maybe Dak did something. We don't know everything. That's why I'm a little hesitant to kill Kellen today when we scored what we did. It's really our defense. Dan Quinn is this guru. We got to get a stop, man. Now, to Dan's credit, he did get a stop in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it shouldn't have been that close. You get to overtime, anything can happen.
I think that's a lot of the positions. I think, hey, you played a good game, but it wasn't great. And overall, I think everything, like you said, you pointed out that everything just added up in the end. I mean, it was a game of inches, and it all added up, and we were, a yard short, and, the Noah Brown doesn't make it, but it doesn't all know Noah because, earlier in the game, if he doesn't make some of those plays, the game isn't even getting to that point. So everybody had their ups and downs. I think even Dak, it's hard to point out a lot of bad things with him. Yes, I think you pointing out one con is that he's he just doesn't have that want to run. He sees the game, the field open up, and obviously those lingering injuries are kind of in his head because he's not quick to just, okay, and that's not a bad thing. You want your quarterback to be looking downfield and not give up on the play so quickly. But it's, again, when it's wide open and there's first downs to be made, I think he needs to be able to, put his head down to be able to go and get those first downs. So, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think he's leaving that part of the game out of it. And, and so that's why you're, and with these receivers not getting a lot of separations, you're hoping a guy like T.Y. Hilton can come in here and show these wide receivers, hey, this is how you do it in the middle of a game when stuff's happening. When they're pressing on you throughout the game, hey, this is that counter. That's what you had. You're right. Amari Cooper was really good at that, was hey, they're giving you one thing, and he was able to counter it. The only thing is he wasn't great at settling in into the zone, and I think that's where we suffer a little bit. So, but again.
Yeah,
go ahead.
That's the one thing I'll say with T.Y. T.Y. is a third down machine.
Mm-hmm.
I just want a guy when you're going to take CD out, and it's not his fault. The CD, he is on a roll. He's showing why he's the number one receiver. You could take out A.J. Brown if you triple team him too. You can, but they have Devontae Smith. They have other guys. They have Quez Watkins. We need other guys to step up, and I feel bad for Noah because he did step up. He had a great game up until cost us the game. I'm sorry, but Dak threw a perfect ball in overtime. Got to catch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't catch it, and our luck, his luck, it flips not even up, like to the side, and the D-back, like the safety, made an unbelievable play on it. He was in the right place at the right time. Things like that happen when we don't take care of business and put a team away that we're supposed to put away. But it's behind us. We're going to move forward. Let's get Harry Poppins. Don't know if you guys saw this, but did you guys hear Rex Ryan said about the D? Yeah, I just talked about it a little, like a few minutes ago. I actually like it. I hope a player heard it. Like fire, light a fire under their ass. Yeah, he basically called out Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, they should be. I mean, that's where I look at this game. Like I looked at the fact that this defense, this offense still put that many points on the board. I mean, that's, to me, is still pretty impressive. As much as I'm ripping on Kellen Moore and everything, they still, kicking field goals and everything, they still put points on the board. And so, those costly, turnovers, which obviously, there's people that need to step up and do their job, whether it's Peters, allowing a rush right there to get to Dak's arm, whether it was Noah Brown not securing that pass or there's a lot, and I think that we're talking about the biggest theme within this is that all of it added up and you showed. I mean, you're playing down to the competition sometimes, and again, Jacksonville, Mike pointed out, Jacksonville's playing some great football, and you got Doug Peterson that definitely, when he was with Philly, he kind of took it to us as well too. So I mean, there was a lot of things there. I mean, we seem to have a history with every single team, and there's some kind of personal grudge there. But again, I like what you're saying, and what I'm saying is that this team definitely still has a hope for what the playoffs. You're into the playoffs now. What is going to be the strategy?
I'm not giving up on the playoffs, Phil.
No, I still like our position. I still like where this team is at. Again, it sucks because of injuries, but every team has to deal with injuries.
I was holding out hope.
Yeah.
For the 1 seed. I'm not going to give up on something until it's dead. It's still on the table, but it's all but dead. But whatever. We're going to play the team that wins the NFC South. Okay? People go, well, you could lose to any team. Yeah, we could also beat any team in the NFL.
Yeah,
we could also beat any team. You know?
I agree.
I mean, our strength of schedule, I think they came out and said our strength of schedule this year was 12th, even though, the Eagles' strength of schedule was, even though you would have thought it would be, I think it was like 24th. So, we shall see. If we can somehow, win this week against the Eagles, you could say without Jalen Hurts, we didn't have Dak, and we kept it close, then I'm good. It is what it is. I just hope we can pick it up before the playoffs, get on a roll. We're not gonna play a lot in that last game. I'm telling you now. We're gonna have a backup. It'll be Cooper Rush. and the Ronettes. It'll be a bunch of nobodies, but we'll see. We'll see. But that might be the opportunity that we're talking about with these players. Give them some playing time, some experience in case, boss man just keeps doing what he's doing. That might be the game. And don't forget, we got a tough schedule coming up. We got a Saturday, right? Yeah, we play Saturday night, and then we play Thursday in Tennessee, and then we play Saturday.
Yeah.
Is it Saturday?
I think it was a to be determined thing. I think they were still to be determined. I'm not sure, but I think they were still in the air.
It's like, so it's going to be some short. So you're going to need these young guys. So.
Yeah, Big D in here saying strength of schedule is because the NFC East has this great record, especially the Eagles being 13. Well, and that's the thing is next year they're going to have a tougher schedule because of it. We had to deal with it this year. So I mean, with all the success comes with it other things. Because I mean, you looking at Jalen Hurts, you're talking about MVP, but you got to pay an MVP, and he's next up in line for 50 plus. So do you pay him his contract for a running quarterback? There's a lot of ifs. So
I love it.
So there's enjoy the success because a lot of it, more money, more problems. Exactly. And that's what it is. I mean, congratulations to you. You got it. Yeah. But I mean, how is it going to be the playoffs? Playoffs are always again a different story, especially when you have injured people going in there. I think everybody's going to have to deal with injuries at some point. And right now, the Dallas Cowboys are definitely dealing with ours, mostly on defense, and it really showed yesterday, especially within the secondary. So again, we're gonna I feel a little bit better after venting all this stuff. I don't know about you, Brian.
Yeah, I think we're good, people. I think we're good. Injuries happen. There's still 3 games left. Other teams can get injured. You saw what's happening to Jalen Hurts. I hope he does play. Because, I think we're going to come after him. So.
He's a Dallas fan. That's what he's saying.
Go ahead, Phil.
No. Well, no, I was just saying in general, hey, we'll swallow it. We push it to the side. That shit happens. It's they know what they need to improve, and hopefully, like Limerman was saying, a lot of these guys are saying that hopefully it's a wake up call, and it's the wake up call they need to say, hey, maybe there's some, hey, let's scheme a little bit better going into it. You gotta mask your little shortcomings when it comes to this secondary, especially. On the outside opposite of Diggs. So, I mean, there's thank you again, Harry Poppins. I appreciate you subbing. I appreciate other people as well coming in. We're getting a little bit more traffic. I appreciate you guys sharing, even watching on the replays, man. You guys have been amazing.
Yeah, Harry, our normal schedule. Our normal schedule is the day before the game. Normally it's Saturdays, but because of the holidays, we've been going on Fridays, and we normally go Monday nights.
Yeah, the day after the game. So before the game and after the game, we try to go for. But we try to hit it. It's like this upcoming week, we're going to be on Friday. We're going to talk about the Eagles game. We'll see through the week who's playing, who's not playing, what injuries are sustained. I mean, there's a lot of injuries. You're talking about against Dorrance Armstrong coming back, LVE going to take a couple of weeks, maybe with that stinger. So there's some playmakers that we have to keep an eye on. But again, do we rest Parsons? Does that become a strategy to get him ready for the playoffs? Since can we improve our rankings? Can we jump out of our rank? No. I mean, that 5th seed seems to be pretty good there, unless some kind of miracle were to happen where all of a sudden on one side. So I mean, but NFL all is capable. But again, thank you guys for coming through. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out? Anything talking people off the ledge or anything?
No, just everybody keep their heads up. Let's, this is, like I said, I felt actually better than I thought I was going to feel. It's going to be good, but I guess it's after I found out that we're going to be getting our 2 players back. They're not gone for the year. That's huge. We have a big Friday show. It'll be our holiday show. I'm going to wear my ugly sweater and my. I'm going to
wear my contest-winning ugly sweater. I had a holiday thing, and I actually won the holiday, the ugliest sweater contest for our office.
Yours will be probably real ugly. I have a Cowboy.
Yeah. Well, the way they're playing right now on defense, it's pretty ugly. So, Angelica, I appreciate.
I'm going to have Kelly K9 on. He's a big Cowboy fan on Twitter. I gotta talk to him. We'll probably.
Yeah.
I mean, he does a great Jerry Jones impression, so I might ask him a couple questions so he could talk as Jerry Jones. He's always ends his like after a Cowboy loss, he goes, "You hold your tears and drink your beers." So that's what So we're gonna try and get him on Friday night. So stay tuned.
Yeah, and again, I appreciate everybody. Harry Poppins, I appreciate you coming in for the first time. A lot of you guys finding us for the first time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way out, hit everything, but don't forget to ring that bell. Man, I about missed it right there.
Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
What you do? You're like a little screw loose type of guy, and I thought that's how I am. So I'm digging it, big guy. I am.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
GameTime Bryan, otherwise known as the mailman here,
Cool name. Superpowers?
broadcasting from the illustrious Jobu Studios.
Come on, are you gonna tell me who that is?
Primetime Phil, and of course my co-host, GameTime Bryan.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this place is going to explode. $100,000. I don't even need to hear it.